Here in the vast terrain of East Austin, nature takes its course in the most unusual of ways. The Eastside Feathers chicken family is a prime example. Chickens roamed free at one point, but then again, what came first? The egg or the chicken? The Eastside Feathers family lives day to day in the hopes of leading a pleasant life and facing obstacles such as encounters with vicious predators to sustain their friend, Brian, the chicken rancher. Let's meet them, shall we? There's always a leader in the pack, and in this case it's Vanya. This Americana puts her foot down and doesn't back down. Her sister Martha is the alert one in the group and defends the flock as necessary. Rumor has it, she's better than Chuck Norris. Often seen venturing off alone, Becky uses her spare time to find new activities for the group to do, always making sure she's ready in case any roosters are added to the family. Tammy takes pride in her long locks of feathers. If sweet and sour was a chicken, it would be Big Red. Sweet when it goes her way, and sour when she flutters her wings at you. The voice of reason in the group takes form in Scarlet, a Rhode Island Red. Her train of thought is unlike any other. This is a day in the life of the Eastside Feathers. The chickens awaken at 7 a.m. and are somewhat ready for the day. The chickens have a very busy day ahead of them, and as owner Brian whips up some enhancements to the coop, the chickens wait in anticipation. Their busy day is well on its way, and to keep their strength, Mom and Dad serve the chickens a perfectly balanced breakfast, one filled with veggies. Remember, a veggie a day keep the vets away. Mom and Dad have chosen to go with corn on the cob for a treat for the chickens to jumpstart their day. The chickens have done so much already, a much-needed nap takes place. Under the shade sounds perfect. Although the day is cloudy, in Texas, the heat shows no mercy. Chickens will sleep so that they don't have to move so much. While the chickens nap, let's check in with Mom and Dad to see how they feel about their girls.
I'm Lauren Sweet.
I'm Brian Hilton.
Oh, And what exactly do you do here?
I have an urban homestead with 6 chickens.
How did you get the chickens?
Something we've wanted to do probably for the last 6 years. We just never had the space to do it. And when we moved here, we've been here almost a year now. We've been talking about it, and a friend gave us a chicken coop or half a chicken coop, and then it kind of went from there.
What benefit do chickens have for you?
Breakfast is probably one of my, not even probably, it's definitely one of my favorite meals of the day. Fresh eggs from your chickens, you get a much darker yolk. They just taste better than anything you could ever get from the grocery store.
Did you discover something you weren't expecting?
I thought it was just going to be bring them home, let them get big, and then put them outside. But, they definitely had a few deficiencies at first. We had to get them probiotics, and we had to get them electrolytes.
Did you have chickens growing up?
I did. When I was growing up, I don't know an exact count, but I know we had, between 20 and 30.
But why chickens?
We're trying to kind of dial back to basics.
What motivates you to get back to the basics?
It's growing. It's a great city, and it's awesome, but it's kind of scary seeing, 7th Street, for instance, where we used to live, being, condos after condos and, high-end restaurants just all the way down. When we lived there, it was just, hole-in-the-wall bars and stuff, and we loved it. So, it's interesting. I hope that Austin doesn't lose its charm, because it's kind of one of my fears for sure.
What does the future hold for the Eastside Feathers?
I already know that I want more than this later in life. Like when I'm an old man, I want to be sitting on 10, 15 acres doing twice to 3 times as much as what we're doing here. More chickens. I want pigs, goats. I want to have a much bigger garden.
Scarlet is awoken by some unsettling shuffling, and as the rest of the chickens wake up and brush the feathers off, they realize it's only Mum who has set up the feeder and water for a lunch treat. Martha takes a moment to look away from her meal, and Big Red moves in to take a spot. Martha tries to get back down to business neat, but is ousted by Big Red. The perfect time to strike. Looking up to Brian for approval, Brian shakes his head no. Becky hides alone in the feeder, waiting for Mozzie to leave. Luckily, Brian saves Becky from Mozzie. Oh, that could have been bad. Tammy follows suit and finds a nice branch on the grass to perch on. She must be clean at all times, and perching protects her long feather locks from parasites and mites. However, she has big dreams. One day, she hopes to claim the throne of Queen of the Backyard. Just look how she already masters the topmost perch. Dad brings out some corn for the chickens to feast on. Almost all at once, the chickens' attention is on the food and it's dinner time. If Mozzie can't have chickens, then she'll have to take their corn. Bonya holds a meeting for all the chickens, explaining how they must take a stance against Mozzie. The chickens listen attentively. Bonya dismisses the chickens. The work here is all done, and now Brian and the chickens can finally rest and enjoy the sunset. This has been a day in the life of the Eastside